Bradley Walsh has always been one of those rare public figures who feels like a familiar friend. His laughter, his timing, his quick jokes that somehow always landed. They were part of what people looked forward to at the end of the day. He was bright, warm, forever present on television screens across the country. So when that presence suddenly stopped, when the familiar spark of his voice vanished without warning, it felt like the world had briefly tilted. Viewers noticed immediately. The absence was sharp, unexpected, and confusing. And in that quiet, the one voice that finally surfaced was not Bradley's, but that of the person who knows him better than anyone else, Donna Derby. For years, Donna has been a steady, graceful figure by Bradley's side. Their partnership has always looked effortless, a blend of quiet affection, playful banter, and the kind of teamwork that grows only from years of truly understanding someone. She's never chased attention, never sought to step into the spotlight unless she absolutely had to. So when she finally spoke, her words carried a weight that headlines could never capture. She didn't reveal secrets, nor did she unravel mysteries. Instead, she spoke with genuine feeling, the kind that doesn't require dramatic statements to be understood. She acknowledged the moment they were in, calling it a time that demanded patience, compassion, and space. She made it clear that silence doesn't always mean something terrible. Sometimes it's simply a pause, a necessary breath, a moment to gather strength without the pressure of performing for the world. And with that message, she shifted everything. What Donna offered wasn't an explanation, it was a reminder. Even someone as energetic and ever-present as Bradley is still a human being, allowed to step back, allowed to rest, and allowed to disappear from the spotlight when life becomes a little too loud. She spoke as someone protecting the person she loves, not the public figure the world adores. For fans, her message landed softly but powerfully. It was simple, thoughtful, and filled with sincerity, the kind that speaks louder than any dramatic announcement. In a way, her gentle honesty did more than satisfy curiosity. It reset the tone of the entire situation. Instead of fueling rumor mills or encouraging wild guesses, she nudged people toward understanding, toward empathy, toward patience. Almost immediately, the response from fans shifted too. Messages of support poured in, warm, hopeful, and touched by the vulnerability she allowed herself to share. Many thanked her for speaking at all. Others praised her strength, saying how refreshing it was to see someone respond with dignity rather than defensiveness. Some expressed how much Bradley had brightened their lives over the years, and how they hoped he was using this quiet time to recharge. That outpouring of love said something important. Bradley Walsh means far more to people than the roles he plays or the jokes he cracks. His absence made it clear just how deeply viewers feel connected to him, not because they know every detail of his life, but because he has offered joy, sincerity, and warmth for so long that he feels like family. Industry colleagues, too, seem to understand the tone Donna set. No rumors, no reckless comments, no pressure. Just respect. And in the entertainment world, where secrets tend to leak faster than a faulty tap, that silence from the people around him spoke volumes. It showed just how much Bradley and Donna are valued, not as public figures, but as people. Donna's message also quietly reminded everyone of something many forget. Being constantly in the public eye takes a toll. The demand to always appear cheerful, always available, always on can be exhausting, even for someone as naturally charismatic as Bradley. Sometimes the bravest thing a public figure can do is step away, not for drama, not for headlines, but simply to protect their peace. And through it all, the love between Bradley and Donna became almost its own character in the story. Not a flashy, dramatic love, but one full of quiet gestures, shared glances, and supportive strength. A love built on humor, trust, and the unspoken understanding that sometimes the world needs to be kept at arm's length. Donna's message didn't just speak for Bradley, it shielded him. It wrapped around him like a warm coat, telling the world, he'll speak when he's ready. Until then, we've got this. There was even a touch of humor in how fans tried to cope. Some joked that Bradley might simply be trying to catch up on sleep after years of early morning call times. Others teased that he might be secretly rehearsing an incredibly dramatic comeback, complete with fog machines and sparkles. And while these comments were lighthearted, they also showed how deeply people care. When worry meets humor, it often means affection. As the weeks passed, viewers slowly adjusted to the unusual quiet. And strangely, the silence itself became meaningful. Instead of demanding answers, people grew protective. They echoed Donna's words, reminding one another that personal moments deserve respect. It was as if the entire community surrounding Bradley, fans, colleagues, and friends, took a collective breath and agreed to wait. Because some stories aren't meant to be rushed. Some moments need time and softness. And some people, especially those who've given so much of themselves to the public, deserve a break without 1,000 questions. Still, one thing hasn't changed. When Bradley Walsh eventually chooses to return, there's no doubt the world will be ready. Not with pressure, not with expectations, but with open arms, laughter, and the same warmth he has given audiences for decades. His fans aren't going anywhere. They've simply shifted from cheering him on screen to cheering for him behind the scenes. Until that moment comes, Donna's message stands as a quiet bridge between the silence and the support surrounding it. She didn't offer a solution nor a revelation. She offered something more powerful, reassurance. A reminder that the people we admire are human, that silence doesn't mean danger, that privacy is not a crime in a world obsessed with constant updates. And most importantly, she reminded everyone that sometimes love looks like stepping forward to speak when someone else can't, and sometimes it looks like stepping back so they can find their way in peace. As fans continue to send their warm thoughts, one thing is certain: the story isn't over. It's simply unfolding in its own time, behind closed doors, surrounded by care, support, and the unwavering bond between two people who have always faced the world together. And when Bradley does return, in whatever way, at whatever pace, he'll walk back into a world that has been waiting for him with patience, gratitude, and the same affection he has given audiences for decades. Until then, the silence isn't an ending. It's simply a pause filled with hope, humor, and a whole lot of love.